Hey there, welcome to day 1913 of What She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. We're talking about being at one with nature. That's my little fuzzy bunny. Not really natural, but as close as I could get. I guess I have a little plastic bird too. There's not much nature in my house right now. Uh, my thumb isn't so green anymore, so I don't have very many plants. I have a few, but I'm barely keeping them straggling along, except for a begonia that my eldest granddaughter gave me for Mother's Day like 7 or 8 years ago. It's supposed to be an annual, but it seems to just keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back. We're down to one sprig now, but it's in a vase or in a little glass of water getting re-rooted so we can replant it this spring. So we're talking about being at one with nature. That's our idiom for Supersize Your Business today. That's along the theme of spiritual well-being, spiritual health, spiritual goals, which ties into this year's annual challenge. This year's annual challenge is it's the Get Your Goals annual challenge. We're doing one thing every day to get what we want. People in the challenge to get what they want, me to get what I want, because I want to focus on my goals. I want to achieve my goals. Otherwise, why would I bother setting them if I didn't want to work toward actually getting them? So we're talking about that. And this month we're focusing on spiritual well-being and spiritual health. To be at one with nature it ties into our spirituality as humans, because spirituality is about being connected to something bigger than ourselves. And what's bigger than ourselves on this planet than nature? And so we talked about that and how do we do that as we're building and growing and supersizing our business. And there's a lot of ways to do that. It's really fun to take the challenge and then apply it to an idiom or an expression that's business related, because they don't seem like they fit together, but it just takes a little bit of thought. And I like to do it because it challenges me to look at things differently, to look at situations and how I can apply things that aren't normally thought about when we're dealing with our businesses that can have a huge impact. To be one with nature means, how do we be good citizens and make the world a better place as we're growing and building and supersizing our business? How do we go about doing that? And of course, it's different for each of our businesses, and how much we will or will not do, and how we decide what we will and will not do is going to be different for each of our businesses. But I only work with people these days that their underlying intent and core values are to make the world a better place. If you're just in it for the money, or if you're just in it to get what you can out of other people, I am not the person that you're going to work with to grow and build and supersize your business. Our spiritual well-being topic for today was and is spiritual lessons learned. And so we are thinking about, what have we learned so far in the challenge with respect to our spiritual lessons learned that we can apply to getting our spiritual well-being and spiritual health goals that we're setting for ourselves. And we're going to go through the goals process. What's the date today? The 20th. So in a couple of days, we're going to start going through, because it's 7 days, and we're doing the last 7 days of each month to focus on the goal process and the goal framework that we identified in January. We're going to use that for each of the different life framework areas. We've done emotional in February, mental well-being, mental health, and mental topics last month. And then this month we're focusing on spirituality, spiritual topics, our connection to things other than ourselves, right? Outside of ourselves, bigger than ourselves, or however you choose to define your spiritual growth, spiritual ideas, and spiritual goals. We're going to go through that process specifically with our spiritual goals in mind, so that we can practice it, make it our own, tweak it a little bit to make it our own, and then use it and apply it going forward as much as we want. And knowing that, okay, this worked really well this time. What did I learn from that? I'm going to tweak it a little bit to make it work more efficiently and effectively for me. So I shared 8 of the different lessons that I've learned about spirituality. And I've learned a lot of lessons about spirituality, especially since my sudden cardiac arrest when I was 50. I'm probably a very, very different person. I absolutely am a very different person now than I was up until that event and up until my 50-year mark. And I like to think in a much more positive, good way. I'm definitely much more comfortable with myself, being myself, showing up, and not apologizing for who I am and what's right for me versus what other people think I should do. I kind of gave up the shoulds in 2010, and I'm glad that I did that. So I shared some lessons learned. Our action item today is just to think about your spiritual well-being and spiritual growth and spiritual health, and your goals in that area, and a lesson that you've learned so far, maybe from the challenge, maybe from other areas of aspects of your life, maybe from a group, maybe from reading, etc., so that we can learn from one another. That's all I've got today. If I can help you anyway, ask. supposed to be going to a trade show today, which I think I'm going to pass on for a lot of reasons. But if I can help you, I will be around. So just hit me up. Have a great day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.